Welcome to Wrestling in 60, presented by Cliff Keen Athletic. Wrestle with the best. A show where we present the best matches from around the country's premier wrestling conference, the Big Ten. We begin with our pick at number 7.
Right into it. Heavy on that left collar tie. Number 1 ranked Bartlett. Low single. Brenneman with the low single. Doesn't work out as Bartlett scrambles through, gets his 3. Almost looking for a claw lift, it looks like, but let's go with the claw up top. Now breaks down the arm, flattens him out. Brenneman's trying to build his base, and they got heavy on top. He's breaking down that arm. Can't tell if he's looking for a tilt here. Crowd getting into it.
The bow nose chants breaking out from Penn State crowd.
Even with such an electric crowd here, you would assume when the seniors come out, they're going to get out and get into it.
Oh, definitely, especially a senior like Bartlett, 3-time All-American in his career. He's been so special for this Penn State program.
He got a 3rd at the NCAAs. It's a 3rd or so, I believe. Brennan takes bottom. Top man covers. Breaks him down. Going tight waist, far ankle. Now 2-on-1. Gets to his feet. It'll be the first points of the match. Brenneman. Edinburgh pleading for a shot here. Just can't get anything going. And I will say, Edinburgh shot first. Shot by Bartlett. The high crotch, finishes through, gets his 3, 6-1. Nice timing on that takedown from Bartlett.
Bartlett as well, over a minute of riding time, just about a minute 20 of riding time.
Has his boot in, flattens him out. Mean crossface right there. Bone sawing his back his head into the mat. For the former wrestlers, the bone saw is definitely a familiar term with some PTSD behind it, sure. Bartlett looking for that tilt again. Nothing. This is the 3rd match in a row that I've seen for that cross-body tilt where they have a boot in and then they go for near power half. This is the 3rd time I've seen someone go for it. This definitely was a prevalent drilling position in today's or last week's practice preparing for this match, I'm sure.
Yeah, and if it worked for Braden Davis and if it worked for Aaron Nagao, should work for Bo Bartlett, and that's probably what he's thinking.
Now an escape, making it 6-2. Shot, stuffed, good sprawl. Looking to get around and get his points. Brennan holding on to that leg for dear life here. Nice sprawl from Bartlett. Looking to circle and get his points. Still circling. Ref gives it to him. 15 seconds to go in the first period and 2 minutes plus of riding time. Bartlett making it 9-2. Short time here. And that'll do it for the end of the first. Just some dominance on display here from Bartlett, and nothing forceful, no rushing of anything. That takedown was flawless too, it looked good.
Definitely, and it's these two wrestlers, it hasn't been anything explosive so far. It's more like feeling your opponent out, and like you said, Bartlett trying to utilize that crossbody tilt like Braden Davis and Aaron Nagao did, and we'll see what happens here in the second period.
Need a return here for a potential stall, and there it is. There's the escape for Bartlett, the 8-point lead. Minute 40 to go. Shot. Attempted the double. Nice head, hand, hips defense. Bartlett working center of the mat. Not forcing anything here. Looking for that left collar tie. Now in an underhook. Lets it go. Maybe looking for a 2-on-1 again. And now they break. The near side of our commentating table. Oh, I honestly thought he was going to go for that underhook and slide by, but now they're back again, tie. Circles and gets his 3. Nice little front snap, gets him down and then circles behind. It's quick as light right there. Shot stuffed again, circling. Front headlock and circle. Oh, flattens him out, gets him to his back, gets some swipes here. Looking for the fall in his last match at Rec Hall, and he gets it! Bo Bartlett with the fireworks in his last match at Rec Hall, crowd on its feet.
We'll be back with more of the week's top matches on Wrestling in 60. Here at number 6.
Inside Wilkinson Hall this season. We got one more match to go. It's the big boys at heavyweight. Number 32, Nick Willam, 8-8 on the season, grad student from Greenwood, Indiana, versus Caleb Snodgrass, 5-9, the junior from Van Buren, Ohio.
Huge for Indiana. It's their final dual meet of the season. To get close to 30 team points, potentially more if Willam can do, you know, what he's kind of supposed to do on senior night. This is a team player. He really epitomizes Indiana wrestling, and we talked to him early on in that rider when we did the first bout of the year, and his mentality stayed the same. He's battled through injuries, a really good story. Let's see what he's got in front of the home crowd.
Nick Willam, an incredible story for Indiana. He bumped up to heavyweight after he wrestled 197 last season, was the first NCAA alternate. 17-10 last season, 4-3 in duels, and just the selfless act to bump up to heavyweight with Jacob Bullock taking the year off. And he's definitely been able to win some clutch ones for Indiana in his final season in a Hoosier singlet. Got that late takedown versus Seth Nevels of Maryland with 50 seconds left. He won that one 4-2, and he iced the duel for Indiana. Got them their first Big Ten win of the season. Snodgrass, we'll flip it over to him. 5-5 in duels, 2-4 in conference. 0-3 versus ranked opponents this season. He's got wins over Peyton McComas of Gardner-Webb, Morven St. John of PC. He's 2-3 in his last 5 matches at heavyweight.
Yeah, Willam, this is his 5th he's wrestled for this team for 5 seasons. So when you think about senior night and what this means to these guys, it's a huge bout, his final one at Wilkinson Hall. The ultimate team player. He's 55-57 in his career, and he's not done yet.
Both wrestlers locked up ear to ear. The heavyweights just hard, heavy collar ties, strength on strength. So who can get around and get those takedowns, force those stalling calls. Less than a minute to go in period 1. Willam, another one of those seniors that was honored on senior night for Indiana, certainly wants to go out in front of his home crowd with a win, Luke.
For sure, but Snodgrass is not going to lay it easy for him.
Absolutely not. You see it battling in there. Go ahead.
Scoring in duels, he's down, but just by 1. He's given up 22 points. He scored 21. Obviously, points extremely difficult to come by with the heavyweight class, but he's hung in there so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if these guys continue a lot of hand fighting. It's just so difficult to wrestle each other down to the ground at this weight near 300 pounds.
Willam in on a high C shot, driving through and gets the takedown. How about that from Nick Willam? Short time in period 1. He goes high C. Snodgrass, I don't think, was even expecting it.
He must have heard me say points are hard to come by, takedowns are hard to come by. He said, who are you freshmen calling my bout? I've been here for 6 seasons. Let me show you what I can do.
He's deceptively fast, and I think that comes with his experience at 197, Luke, right? 197, strength, but also speed and agility helps him certainly now at heavyweight.
I also think that weight class change is a testament to A, how unselfish he is as a guy filling a role that needed to be filled for this Indiana team, but B, his work ethic. How much time, effort do you put into that lower weight class, and then you have to change it all before your final year in collegiate wrestling? Unbelievable, the act that Nick Willam has pulled off this season.
Willam gets the escape, and you hear this crowd. They love it for the senior. He's up 4-0 over Snodgrass. If you're just joining us, Indiana 29, Chattanooga 11. Indiana's won 3 of the last 4 matches out of the intermission. 2 of those by bonus point victories back-to-back at 184 and 197.
So, Riley, as these guys hand fight for a little, you want to look forward for Indiana because this is their final dual meet of the season. I asked Angel Escobedo the same question that I asked Coach Rochelle. How would you grade this season? He said, hey, it's a B to a B+. We've struggled a lot. And I said, what have you guys learned from that? He says, hey, I love winning, and nobody hates losing more than me. But what I tell my guys is if you want to be successful, double your rate of failure. And Escobedo, you know, an unbelievable wrestling career himself. So that's wise words from a guy who has competed at the highest of levels. And this team, yeah, they've struggled coming into this bout, but to get a win at home on senior day, it really does propel them into the most important time of the year.
You learn a lot more, does every single one of us as human beings. We learn a lot more from our failures and our low moments and our losses. We learn a lot more about ourselves than we do our high moments and our victories. 4-0 match, 22 seconds left, period 2 at heavyweight. Willam guarding that 4-point lead. Willam blasts double, and he gets it again. Wow. Snodgrass clearly more heavy than Willam. Willam says, I don't care, I'm going for it.
Willam is just so agile at that weight, it's unbelievable. He has sneaky speed. He now leads by 6. He's got Snodgrass on the ropes. He looked gassed talking to Coach Rochelle.
He's looking for the 3rd bonus point victory for the Hoosiers on this side of the intermission. 2 takedowns in the first period of action for Willam.
That's what makes Indiana such a dangerous team. We saw them go down early, but they're heavyweights. Boy, are they tough. It is a gauntlet to get through the second half.
Snodgrass up to his feet. Willam collects the leg and trips him back down on the edge of the mat. See him keep 1 foot in, trying to just burn that time away, collect that riding time.
Yeah, Riley, pretty good crowd for a Friday night here at Wilkinson Hall, and nobody seemed to have left, even though the team scoring has been decided. Willam has definitely been worth the wait.
Nick Willam, I mentioned some of his wins this season. He won 3-2 in the first tiebreaker versus Josh Terrell of Michigan State. Got the 2-1 win over Jack Jessen of Northwestern. Continues to ride on top of Snodgrass. He's lost some tough ones to Greg Kirkfleet, Nick Feldman. Another stacked weight class at heavyweight, much like 197. Snodgrass spent 2 years at Lock Haven before coming to Chattanooga as Willam continues to work on top, approaching that 1 minute of riding time.
This is when you can really tell that Snodgrass is a true heavyweight. Willam is an upgraded heavyweight because Willam is putting his entire body into moving Snodgrass, hey, maybe an inch or 2. However, Snodgrass is behind, and he's got to get up and make something happen in a hurry. Only 50 seconds remaining, and Willam in complete control. Now over 1 minute and 15 seconds of riding time as well.
He bases back up and gets the escape, gets himself on the board. 7-1 match in favor of Willam. Front headlock on the edge of the mat.
Willam is not going to settle with a decision here, Riley. Yeah, he wants to protect himself, but he wants the major.
Willam goes behind and gets another takedown. His 3rd of the match, and he's up 10-1.
This has been Willam's bout the entire way.
Snodgrass spent 2 years at Lock Haven before transferring to Chattanooga, 14-24 record. Wrestled 285 as a true freshman, then went down to 197 as a sophomore. So Snodgrass some experience at 197, bouncing back and forth. Got 2nd at the 2022-23 Matt Town Open. Snodgrass back up to his feet. They do give, or rather it's Willam that gets the win 11-1 over Snodgrass at heavyweight and closes this dual meet here in Wilkinson Hall. Indiana wins at 33-11.
We'll be back with more of the week's top matches on Wrestling in 60. And now we'll look at number 5 as we continue the countdown.
And Major Lewis getting it going. As Lewis in on a quick shot, Britton has to sprawl. And Britton, one of the seniors honored here tonight for the Scarlet Knights, getting the start. Regular starter Dylan Shawver reached his maximum appearances in duels this year from what Coach Scott Goodale said last week as Britton works through off the defense, turning into offense, gets the takedown.
Right with a Turk in, trying to extend. Lewis, hip over, post that right arm. There it is. There's the back points.
Britton's going to get a count here. See if he can adjust for a fall here, but Lewis is going to get back to his belly. Britton just 6 and 7 this year, 24 and 25 in his career. He did go 3-1 at the Princeton Open this year, so he has up 7-0 right now after the 4 near fall points. He's going to be hunting for more here.
Yeah, just working that Turk again. Try to get as much back points as he can here. Tough position to pin from, but he really does have that Turk locked in. You see him figure 4 around that left leg of Lewis. Now he's going to let it go, try to work something else.
Good wrist control right now from Britton. Lewis at his base, and now Britton's got him flat once more. Britton's been big in some of these lineup spots, man, where they've needed him to come up big with a win, including a big win over Ryder last year. Basically a last-minute substitution.
He's going to work that Turk again, just step through. Tried to. We did have a stall on Lewis.
It was only his first. So it's a warning right now. Next one will be a point as Britton has a deep Turk. If he can just crank that foot, he does. Taking some near fall points now. Britton looking for the fall. If he adjusts here.
He's close to pinning him here.
Britton trying to end his senior night with a fall. Lewis fighting back to his belly. 4 near fall points coming as Lewis able to belly back down. Britton far claw looking for a tilt coming back the other way as that right boot is, you see. Top end. 30 seconds. Britton coming back the other way now using that left arm, framing the head. Got these boots in, man. If he can just keep them steady and start turning at the shoulders here, might be able to get him flat again. Lewis able to fight off and get back to his base.
Good first period for Devin Britton. Couple of turns, a takedown. 11-0 after 1 period of action.
A great start. Look at his work right there. That last Turk, that was a deep.
Yeah, you see him just lift that right leg of Lewis all the way over. Close to the pin here, double boots were in. Britton's gonna look to escape to his feet, score a takedown, and that will be a tech fall.
Lewis just a freshman for Bloomsburg. Britton's out for 1. It's 12-0. As you mentioned, man, a takedown ends this. Shot from Lewis, single leg. Good sprawl from Britton as he looks to scramble now, trying to fight at the ankles.
Yeah, Lewis is in deep here.
Head's coming through. Treetop position as Britton rolls through. Now re-attacking on his own single leg. See if we can get that left arm across for a double. Lewis trying to climb up the back. Britton trying to hit back in now.
Yep, he's just going to try to step over. Going back for the head, turn in, take down.
There's 3 for Devin Britton. A tech fall on senior night. He's going to win this one 15-0. Dominant. For only half a match.
We'll be back with more of the week's top matches on Wrestling in 60. Here at number 4.
But if you're not competing, then you're never going to be successful, especially in the conference like the Big Ten if you're Indiana. But these wrestlers have put on a very good showing of effort thus far, and this is a good weight class to look out for.
157, we're underway. Number 14 ranked Brighton Lee, 5-0, the redshirt senior from Brownsburg, Indiana, going against Lincoln Heck, the junior, 7-2 on the season from West Wyoming, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, an incredible wrestling state as well as Indiana.
I would go as far as saying for Brighton Lee, he could be one of the most talented wrestlers in the country that just not too many people know about because of injuries. They've really plagued his career. Let's see what he's got on senior night.
Well, we've seen what he's capable of, certainly when he's healthy this season. He's in on an attack. in that peek through position. Heck just hanging on to his ankles, and we will go back to center mat. Brighton Lee 5-0 in duels this season. It's the only action that he's seen. 4-0 versus ranked opponents. He's got big wins over Michael North, 15-4, 4-2 win over Joey Blaze of Purdue. He goes go behind on Heck, trying to return Heck to the mat. Heck doing a good job getting away. Lee doubles off, keeps his legs in, gets the takedown. Great job by Lee. We've seen him in 5 matches this season, Luke. He's scored and won in every single way possible. He's won the close ones, won by 1 point. He's won some big-time matches. He's gotten some majors. This guy can turn it on when it's necessary, and it would be such an incredible story if in his final year of collegiate wrestling, he comes back to his home state, wrestles for the home state team here in Bloomington, Indiana, and makes his way to the podium at NCAAs.
Absolutely, Riley. I was about to say the same thing. It's one of those things with Brighton Lee where the talent has never been the issue. I mean, 84-30 as a career record. He was an All-American in his time at Minnesota, qualified for 2 tournaments. At one point last year, he was ranked number 2 in the country before that season-ending injury against Ohio State.
Couple of season-ending injuries, of course, with Ohio State. Same at the Big Tens. Was 4-9 last season, wrestling at 157. Nice defense from Heck as he got the escape. 3-1 the score with a little above a minute to go in period 1 at 157. Lincoln Heck, 7-2 in duels. He's also seen only action in duels. 4-2 in conference, 4 majors, 2 techs, including an 18-0 tech fall over Eli Holiday at Presbyterian. 5-1 win over Joseph Giordano of Gardner-Webb. He's only lost his 2 matches that he's lost this season because he's 7-2. Those 2 losses have come by a combined 4 points. So even when this guy loses, it's very, very close. Guys are not dominating this guy at all. This is going to be a good one.
I was just about to mention, Riley, this is a guy who doesn't give up points. That's really the key with him. He's not going to get taken down too often. If he does, he's getting right back on his feet, and he turns into the aggressor, one of the toughest and strongest wrestlers for Coach Rochelle's squad.
Stalling called on Heck, so that prompts him to shoot in space. Lee sprawls back and defends. And that is how we will end the first period. Kind of tough to pick that one up if you're Heck because Lee has already shown he's been the aggressor. He's gotten the takedown. Something to keep in mind as we move on later on into this match.
Oh, for sure. With these 2 guys, it's going to stay low scoring. It's going to have to get gritty. I think the tougher guy with the more endurance come the 3rd period because if you ask me right now, this one very well goes the distance. I don't see bonus points. Put it that way.
Brighton Lee did not wrestle versus Northwestern for Indiana. It was Zach Rotkovich that went out for the Hoosiers. Wrestled against Trevor Chumley, and it was Chumley that did get that pin at 157. That was ultimately the difference maker in the match that pushed Northwestern over the edge. But even with that, Luke, a couple close losses at 184, 197. Really, for me, that was the difference maker. Those were the matches that Indiana needed to win to get over the hump versus Northwestern.
Yeah, Coach Escobedo, though, went as far as saying he thought the lighter weights going down 7-0 to start.
Oh, wow. They just hit Heck for stalling again. So give Lee a point. Go ahead, good sir.
A little bit of a weird point there, I won't lie.
Yeah.
However, to my point, Escobedo was really hard on those lighter weights. So it's an interesting point that you mentioned there, the heavier ones that kind of cost them, losing by fall in such a tight matchup up there with not obviously the heaviest of the weights, but in the, higher half. Or say we have a 1 leg going right now.
Heck in on a snatch single trying to finish. Lee Pogo sticking around the mat. Using those heavy hips. Go out of bounds. Great defense by Lee. Heck in on deep and on attack. Something you can build upon as you get further on into this matchup. But Lee, great job on the defensive end.
Mentioned Heck doesn't give up too many points. Dual scoring this year. Of course, he's 7-2, but he's only given up 6 points to the 29 that he's scored. That's where his success has been on the defensive end. Let's see if he tries to make a move, get up by maybe 1, and then go defense mode for the final 3 minutes. Lee in on the single leg.
Lee on the single leg, doubles off and returns him to the mat for the takedown. Brighton Lee again. Explosive and dynamic at 157.
That's what Brighton Lee's going to do to you, Riley. Right as you think, hey, heck, he should make the move here. Brighton Lee's, no, I'm talented. I'm the more aggressive wrestler here. Let me go up by 5 and now get some riding time up on top.
Coming up on a minute of riding time. He's 19 seconds away from doing just that. Trying to finish the period on top. 30 seconds left. Period 2, 157. Lee 7, Heck 2. If you're just joining us, it was a electric start for the Hoosiers with a Blaine Frazier pin at 125. It was Chattanooga that responded with a 9-8 decision from one of their guys, Blake Borman, one of their main guys. Isaiah Poe made it 2 straight for the Mocs. He won an 18-0 tech fall over Cole Rimrev. And then Graham Rooks responded with a tech fall of his own, 19-4 over Matthew Williams. Lee stays on top for just that 1 minute, but it is Heck that's able to get away. That's a critical escape for the Mock. Short time left in period 2.
Absolutely. Now they start neutral, and Lee's the aggressor.
Oh, man, Lee tried to go behind there. Heck doing a great job neutralizing Lee, holding onto that leg. Front headlock position. Lee's got a chance here. 2 seconds left. No takedown. But, man, did he want it so bad. Wow, they did award him the takedown. The other official came in, they talked it over, and a big takedown for the Minnesota transfer.
I'm shocked. We've seen a lot, I mean, that's the 3rd questionable end of the period buzzer beater-esque call, and obviously Coach Rochelle missed with his brick earlier on, and now it's the Hoosiers getting another call, and Lee's up 7 on Heck, who just doesn't give up double-digit points too often.
Yeah. And we can kind of see why right here. He's kind of doing a pretty solid job on top. Very solid in that top position. He burned the riding time advantage away from Lee, but it is still an 8-point match at this point in time.
If you're Lincoln Heck, it's go time. You got to make a move and get yourself back into this bout.
He has been in on an attack a couple times. He just hasn't been able to finish. Lee, good level change. As we dance around back to center mat.
Brighton Lee just continues to prove every time he sees the mat how talented he is.
Lee single leg, shelves it, collects the other leg, and gets the takedown again. 4 takedowns for Brighton Lee in this one. And he's up 14-3.
He also now has a minute of riding time advantage. And in a bout that looked like it was easily going to be a decision, Brighton Lee's currently holding on to the major right now, and knowing him, he could be looking for, a sneaky tech fall in the final 43 seconds.
He's up by 11 points right now. 12 with the riding time. Got the near leg hooked of Heck. Let's Heck go. 10-point match. 30 seconds left.
Riley, I think Heck's wrestled pretty well. Lee's he's got his best stuff today, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and he's definitely been able to rest. He's not seen action in tournaments, only action in duels. Lee still active, shot fakes, drives through the blast double and gets another one. He is looking for the tech fall, Luke, cuts him again.
Oh, wow, the motor on this guy is unbelievable.
1-point escape for Heck, 5 seconds left. And how about this showing for Brighton Lee in his final dual meet in an Indiana singlet back in his home state? He gets a 19-5 win over Chattanooga's Lincoln Heck. And here's the standing ovation for everybody in Wilkinson Hall.
You can tell that everybody, his teammates, the coaching staff, and of course this crowd, they love Brighton Lee, and for good reason. He embodies Indiana wrestling, obviously the transfer, but comes back home, and, he put on a show right there.
Wrestling in 60 is brought to you by Defense Soap.
And now we'll look at number 3 as we continue the countdown.
Get done here. We don't usually see him this early into a match, Aaron, but a treat to see him now go up against Chase Levy.
Coming off his 5th tech fall win of the season is Jackson Smith. A win over Rutgers' Hayden Packer last Friday. And going on the attack early, a quick takedown for the redshirt sophomore.
Big move there for Smith. Something we expect to see out of him as the 4th-ranked wrestler at 197. Escape point comes there for Levy and Aaron. This is a tough spot for Levy to be in, making the first dual appearance of his career, the redshirt freshman. It doesn't come against much harder than Jackson Smith.
Yeah, this is going to be as tough an opponent you face coming out of Drexel if you're Chase Levy. This is one of the top guys in the country at 197. We mentioned in the top 5 wrestler. He's only lost 1 duel this season, and that was to the consensus #1 in Aaron Brooks.
Wrestle center.
And since then, Tech falls in the last 2 for wins for Smith. Again, getting it done there. It was the anomaly with the major decision for Aaron Brooks, but Jackson Smith has looked as good as advertised since then and really grown from that one, I think, Aaron.
And speaking of growing, you look at Jackson Smith last year at this time, Coach Clemson said that he was basically wrestling on one leg, and he had as bad a high ankle sprain as you could have, and he really hasn't been doing anything differently as of late. Again, he's just more healthy. He's locked in. He does a great job staying loose and really staying within himself. Always calm, cool, and collected, and that really should prove dividends come Big Ten championships last year when he finished in 3rd place.
Yeah, I think that's a trend, Aaron, that's happening without this Maryland team right now. Remember, just 2 weeks from now, Maryland hosts arguably their biggest competition in program history when they host the Big Ten championships here in College Park. So how, as a team, are you able to stay locked in for this match, for the F&M last invite that they got coming up before that? Coach Clemson says that they've been doing a lot of the same things, including leadership from their captains like Jackson Smith.
Smith goes in for another shot. You mentioned it. The Big Ten championships coming to College Park in 2 weekends. First time in program history the Terps will host March 9th and 10th on the main court at the Xfinity Center. And Coach Clemson said really the only difference from the regular schedule is they've been practicing the last couple of Saturdays. They've done that for a couple weeks, but everything really stays the same as they head into that big-time Big Ten championships in their hometown.
Yeah, I think that's the way you have to look at it if you are Maryland. And there's a lot of wrestlers on this Terps team who are right on that bubble right now for NCAA qualifying. So it starts with this Drexel match that we have today. A lot will be determined in that Big Ten championship, but you can't overlook your final dual match of the season.
Jackson Smith said last year the goal was to be an All-American. He fell 1 place short. This year it's to be an NCAA champion, and he certainly put himself in a strong position, ranked #4 at 197. And we'll get another look at that Jackson Smith takedown.
This was just all overpowering here from Smith. You see he goes to that single leg shot, kicks it out with the right leg under it, and no chance there for Levy. One thing, Aaron, I will say for the redshirt freshman, though, he's held his own so far. He had that escape point. You would have expected it to be a little bit more one-sided than just 3-1 after the first 3 minutes. Levy's holding in there. We'll see if he's able to use that, create some offense, or just hold this to only a decision for Jackson Smith.
That would be huge. Got to give a lot of credit to the redshirt freshman. If he could hold us to a decision against one of the best wrestlers in the nation at 197, that would say a lot about him and his future.
Again, not a bad way for Levy to potentially make his career debut for a dual match.
Yes. But hold on. Smith is looking for some more points. Gets a couple of big near fall points, looking to turn Levy, and he gets the pin. It's back-to-back pins for the Terps. Jackson Smith with a big 6 points for the Terps.
Well, all right then, Jackson Smith. If you want to make us eat our words, 34 seconds after that first period ends. We'll take another look at it here for Jackson Smith. Again, doing Jackson Smith kind of things here. Gets Levy on his back and then just overpowers him there. It didn't look like it in the later stages of that first period, but Jackson Smith just flipped the switch, Aaron.
He just turned that up on a dime and gives the Terps a lead, a team lead. After they were down 9-0, they take the 12-9 lead.
We'll be back with more of the week's top matches on Wrestling in 60. Only 2 matches to go. Here is our pick in the runner-up spot.
Snap down there from Eply. Bloomsburg weighed in 2 heavyweights tonight. Eply caught on bottom here. Harrison Levis for Bloomsburg as Eply trying to maintain the aggressiveness here in the center of the circle.
Oh. Eply nearly in on that single leg.
Levis, a sophomore for Bloomsburg. Eply is 5 and 6 this year for the Scarlet Knights. Searching for that single leg, coming out the back. He's got a takedown as Kyle Eply gets the opening takedown of the match. 1:45 to go in the first period. Eply's gone between 97 and heavyweight throughout his career, weighed 220 tonight. He's heavy on top right now. Final battle of the evening. Rutgers on their way to their 12th win of the season to finish off this dual year. And 12-5 Big Ten championships coming up on March 9th and 10th out in College Park. University of Maryland hosting this year. Eply still behind Levins. Levis is, he's out. It's 3-1. Shot here from Eply, good sprawl there from Levins. 30 seconds to go. Eply's been aggressive on his feet right now, Matt, showing he's been half shooting, he's been level changing.
Yeah.
Levin's been on the defensive though.
Really like what I see from Eply on his feet. He's getting after it. Fake shots, scored a takedown already. He looks tough.
Comes to a close 3 minutes. Kyle Eply up 3-1. Look at that takedown.
Yeah, just like a standing high crotch single.
Levins chose down. Eply trying to stay heavy on top. Already had a minute of riding time coming into the period. We're going to extend that now. Eply maintaining this position on the left side now. He's going outside to side, and Levins is trying to work off that base. Does get to his feet here. Cut at the hands. Eply staying heavy on that left side, looking for a big mat return, and he's going to cut him loose. Didn't want to get called for stalling there. 3-2. Eply on top.
Like to see Eply score another takedown here. Take a lead, commanding lead, in heavyweight anyway, into the third period. He's definitely been better on his feet than has Levins.
.45 seconds. Shot from Eply. Levins re-attacking, spins behind, and Eply able to avoid the takedown, getting back to his feet and cut away.
Yeah, Eply he looks very athletic, Nick. He looks quick, tough on his feet for sure. I really like his aggressiveness. Mine as well. Try to score some takedowns. Final match of your career.
He's been in this program for years now. Again, having a bounce between 97 and heavyweight. Saw him make I believe the official bump this year. A good program guy, as Coach Goodell will call him. There's lunch pail guys, and obviously he's taking it to him. You know, he tries to make the most of his opportunities. trying to get his 6th win of the season. Leaving up that record of 6-6 this year. Third period, he's got riding time. He's going to choose down. Nearing the end of this duel, Kyle Eply, final bout of the evening. He's on bottom, up by a point. Levin's trying to cut the riding time. Eply's right to his feet. Levins brings it back down. So Eply hipping back into him, cutting at the hands, trying to break the grip. And he's out for one. Kyle Eply up 4-2. 1:40 to go. Shot from Levins. Good sprawl from Eply. And a spin behind. Grabbing that far leg. He's going to take down a Kyle Eply. He's up 7-2.
Looks like he's about ready to cut him loose here.
He is. He wants more.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Love this performance from Kyle Eply.
Love the aggressiveness, too.
Yeah, you know, at heavyweight, you don't often see guys fake shots and leg attacks, and Epperly's just been really going for it tonight. It's good to see.
He wants this win, man, but also he's not just going to rest on top. He wants to go for more here.
Exactly.
Trying to put on a show in his final match. 7-3. 45 seconds left. Sense getting his hand raised in front of the home crowd. Maintaining forward pressure here. 30 seconds. So he tried to drop underneath Levins right there, but nothing doing. Big snap down. Short time, trying to reach on a single. Levins able to defend. Eply did the work, grinded it out. With the riding time, Kyle Eply ending senior night with an 8-3 decision. Props to him, and Rutgers is going to win this duel 37-8.
We'll reveal the #1 match of the weekend when Wrestling in 60, presented by Cliff Keen Athletic, returns. The last hour, we've been counting down the weekend's most competitive Big Ten matches. Here is our pick at #1.
Who knows, maybe it'd be under a minute with the pace that Brooks is going, and double underhooks here.
Aaron Brook going up against Jack Kilner. He's one of two
Nice low single.
One of two Edinburgh wrestlers to pick up wins against Lock Haven. Edinburgh lost 41-7 to Lock Haven last time they were out.
Our season opener was Lehigh, right? Not Lock Haven?
It was Lehigh, correct?
Yes. Yeah, they have a their 133 is #1 in Ryan Crookham. He's a very, very good wrestler, and he beat Aaron Nagao to start out that season opener. That was a great match. But anyway, back to the match right out in front of us. Aaron Brooks up 3 with 2 minutes to go in the first in this 197-pound bout. Brooks looking at that right collar tie, shoots through it, double, gets him down, gets his 3. 6-1 for the 3-time national champ. The Maryland native who's going to be in Maryland in a few weeks from now for the Big Ten conference duels. Heavy on top for Brooks, lets him up, and now another escape for Kilner. Making it 6-2. Halfway through this first period, Penn State up 44-0 in this duel. See if we can keep the fall streak alive in this match. Brooks looking for that snatch low single. Doesn't get it. Brooks is really heavy on that head. Pulls the collar tie down, but then hits a nice double out of nowhere. 9-2. Nice shot from the champ. Heavy on top here. Crowd getting into it.
Let's go, Aaron Chance, here from the Penn State crowd.
Aaron heavy on top. Looking for a tilt. Same cross body tilt with the arm. See if he hops sides here. Looking for it. If anything, this might not be a tilt and just running Gable here. And then lets it go. Tries to flatten him out, break down the arm. The legs of the table there. Tight waist far ankle, still can't break him down. Kilner fighting off bottom. As I mentioned, fighting off bottom, the Edinburgh coach was very happy. He said, good job, some good defense for Jack Kilner. 8 seconds to go here. Way less than 8 seconds. That'll do it for the end of the first. Aaron Brooks is dominant as ever.
Definitely. I was just about to say that. He had a dominant performance in the first period, but also giving flowers to Jack Kellner, who's put up some pretty stout defense against the #1 ranked 197 wrestler.
Kellner eager to get going. Gets the caution when he gets on top. It's too early and jumps through. Trying to keep a champion down is going to be pretty hard. Lets him up. Brooks out. Escapes. Giving him the 8-point lead, making it 10-2. Minute 45 to go in this bout. Second period. Oh, nice double leg. Now out of bounds. Brooks with a clean double. I want to see a replay on that one later. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. Drops right through on that level change with no hesitation. That championship grit will always be there on that shot. A nice double leg, one of many this match. Another double, shooting through, gets it. Singing his praise as he does it way in front of us. Oh my goodness. It was a nice shot and now an escape for Kilner. 16-4, minute to go. Shot again, stuffed, nothing. Back neutral. Kilner looking for his own shot. And Kilner falls back on the low single drop back. And that'll do it. Keeping the fall streak alive. Aaron Brooks in his last match at Penn State. The red-shirted senior gets it done. The Maryland native going to Maryland in a few weeks from now to defend his throne in the Big Ten title. Keeps the fall streak alive.
We hope that you enjoyed this edition of Wrestling in 60, presented by Cliff Keen Athletic. Join us again next week as we continue to showcase America's premier wrestling conference, the Big Ten.